Kills 99.9% of illness-causing viruses in seconds. No spray kills more. Lysol spray beats viruses, and nothing beats Lysol spray. That's a fact.
This is my bridge.
This is my building.
And this is my truck.
For people that care about getting the job done right. We built the Toyota Tundra better from the ground up.
I'd love to buy you dinner.
Nice try. I know about the free rebate.
Okay.
The Swanson Dinner Rebate lets you try delicious fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for free.
So 8-ish?
No-ish.
Hi, how you doing?
Stay tuned to the Weather Channel for continuing coverage on Isabel, right after your local on the 8s.
Currently in your area, 73 degrees with light rain. Forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's First Outlook.
Isabel's rain and high winds leave Kitty Hawk, North Carolina awash in floodwaters. The former hurricane is now moving north and into land.
Airports closed, thousands of flights canceled, roadways flooded, and down power lines and trees. We'll see if we can sort out the details for your travel needs coming up.
And overnight, Washington, D.C. was bombarded by the storm's heavy rain, plus wind surge forced the closure of Reagan National Airport. And just ahead, the latest on what's now Tropical Storm Isabel and what you should expect if you are traveling in the rainy and windy Northeast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Outlook. It's Friday, September 19th. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. It's 5:30 in Detroit, 4:30 in New Orleans.
Well, we have a cold front moving across the country, and I'll show you where that is and some of the impacts coming up in just a moment.
And that's going to run eventually into Isabel. As Isabel pushed inland, it will continue to march toward the northeast. The system, of course, downgraded to a tropical storm now and will become extratropical as it sweeps northward with the help of an upper-level trough. And as it sweeps out, we're going to see more sunshine for Saturday in places that have been hard hit by the storm.
And with us, our travel analyst, Dennis Smith. Dennis, yesterday, several airports closed. Any word today on airports being closed?
Richmond, Norfolk, let me see, both airports in Washington were closed at one time. National Airport, Reagan Airport, is still closed until the top of the hour, and then we'll get the word on that. Also, the Metro in the area of Washington, D.C., generally opening at about 5:30, will not open until they have a chance to examine all the lines to make sure everything is safe. We check on some of the airports this morning. We'll discover that once again, through the afternoon, There's going to be problems in places like Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and even Boston. And flooded roads continue to be a problem in the Hampton Roads area around Norfolk, as once again a lot of downed trees, power lines. Folks, the crews need to get out and work on them. Even in the winds, they're doing the best they can. It appears if you have travel plans in that area, please be careful. Don't venture out unless you absolutely have to. And also, we'll be talking about the roadways still being wet and windy, so please be careful. We'll give you a complete update in 7 minutes. Right now, the very latest from Nick Walker.
Well, of course, the rain and the wind lashed Washington, D.C. from now Tropical Storm Isabel. More than 800,000 people in the greater Washington, D.C. area are without power, and over 3 million around the entire Northeast. Reagan National Airport, as Dennis mentioned, expected to reopen at 6 this morning. The Fairfax water treatment plant in Virginia has flooded, so residents may need to boil water, and federal government offices are closed for a second day. Isabel, now a tropical storm moving toward the north-northwest at 21 miles an hour with winds in the center of 50 miles an hour. Its location, the center of the storm, 80 miles south of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Tropical storm warnings are still up from Moriches Inlet, New York, southward to Chickatee, Virginia, and up through Chesapeake Bay, where you still could see some storm surge flooding. As a matter of fact, the storm surge flooding has exceeded the levels from the 1933 hurricane there. So more wind, more rain throughout the northeastern United States, affecting all of the major cities here today, and still so many without power. There will be some problems. We'll continue to see this big pressure gradient, a big pressure difference between the area of low pressure with the tropical storm and the high up toward Maine. And it's this pressure gradient that will still force a lot of windy conditions here. Wind gusts we've seen up to 60 miles an hour overnight. Pennsylvania still under an inland, make that Philadelphia still under a inland tropical storm warning, and Washington, D.C. still under a tropical storm warning. Windy conditions have prevailed around Washington, D.C. with gusts overnight to 58. We saw a gust of 72 around Richmond, Virginia, and in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Add to that the effects of the rain, of course, very heavy here in Virginia and North Carolina, but even all the way up into portions of Ohio and West Virginia, we've seen abundance of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain. Around Washington, D.C., we saw a little over 2 inches because the storm was moving so quickly. But as it does, we'll put down at least another inch or 2 of rainfall in these areas. Thus, flash flood watches are still in effect for western Pennsylvania, down into Virginia, portions of New Jersey, and into New York State. As the area of low pressure, which will be extratropical here in the next 24 hours, we think moves northward, we'll see more sunshine in New York, Philadelphia, and warmer temperatures tomorrow as well. Now let's head southward, Kim.
And Nick, water filled the streets of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina after Isabel came ashore. More than 6 inches of rain fell in some parts of the state. President Bush has declared stricken counties disaster areas, so they'll qualify for federal relief. And over 650,000 people without power here in North Carolina. Still the winds up to 25, 30 miles per hour, but they are starting to decrease, and we are actually going to have a pretty decent day. In the next couple of hours, it should be really nice. The sun already starting to maybe come up, and skies are clearing here in North Carolina, and we'll see sunshine in Charlotte. Temperatures here in the mid-80s. Atlanta, beautiful day, mid-80s. A few thunderstorms, Orlando and Miami. South Texas, I just got word here that there's a flood watch in effect. So I'll have to get that done graphically for you. But we're going to see some of that rain continue across South Texas most of the day today. And that's about it. This front moving into some pretty dry air, so we're not going to see much in the way of rainfall, at least here in Birmingham and Nashville as the front comes through. Temperatures in the 60s, behind the front in the 50s. Atlanta 62. At noon, you guys will be at 79. Dinner time in the mid-80s. And tonight, for some high school football, about 75 degrees, so actually pretty pleasant. Again, by tonight, our cold front will be pushing eastward. Tomorrow, look at this, another gorgeous day, 82 in Dallas. Nick?
If you're headed to high school football tonight here in the Midwest, take the jacket with you. It will be chilly in many areas of the plains. We're seeing temperatures only up into the 60s for your highs around Minneapolis, Omaha, and Kansas City, but close to 70 there. 70 around St. Louis, a high in Chicago of 67 degrees. It has been so chilly, a lot of frost back toward the Dakotas this morning. Temperatures down near freezing and even below in some areas, while ahead of this cold front, 62 around Chicago. Your temperature won't change all that much as you get through the day, but some rain toward the north on up toward the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Kim?
Storm surge from the ocean, not a concern, not only a concern, but also rivers.
That's right. Too much rain over some of this area, definitely causing some flooding. Details coming up.
You're watching First Outlook on the Weather Channel.
First Outlook is sponsored by U.S. Bank. Who's the most...
You may not know this, but if you